So this is going to be the second recording of submitting proposals on Upwork. This time the job on which we are going to submit a proposal is very different from the one we submitted a proposal. I submitted a proposal last time. So this time we have a job with this description: need to hire 2 freelancers. We are running a migration to Office 365 and are seeing some strange behavior. Looking for an experienced migration system engineer to support us over the weekend. So the thing that is different is that for this kind of job, this much description is okay. Like, the client is actually looking for a person who can help migrate, or tell them what the strange behavior is because of the reason behind the strange behavior. But we also have to make sure, we can't actually make sure, we can just we can pray that this is not the case. For example, if the strange behavior was causing them to stop working, was causing the migration to stop, or was having such an effect that they had to stop the migration, then they wouldn't have waited 18 hours to hire someone. They would have hired someone very soon. Or maybe since it's Saturday today, they posted the job and they're just gonna look at the job again on Monday. Since we can see that the last time the client viewed the proposal was 17 hours ago and it was posted 18 hours ago, this is actually a good sign. There is a principle that I follow, and I have been following it for many years. Funny thing, I came to know that principle because of an anime. Funny thing, but I have time and time again applied this principle, and now that I actually read many business psychology and business startup and these kind of books, it is actually a principle. So the principle that I follow is that you either are the first one to submit the proposal. When I say first one, I mean when there are only 5 to 10 0 to 5 proposals submitted, or in the very first hour of the job being submitted. The more you get the project, there are more chances of you getting the project if you are either among the very first ones who submit the proposal, or you are among the very last ones who submit the proposals. The proposals in the middle are often overlooked, and time again, for the past 2-3 years of me submitting proposals for myself and for other people, I have seen this happen again and again and again. So for this job, it is actually a good thing for us that he already has 20 to 50 proposals, but he hasn't come back to see the submitted proposals. So what this actually means that if we submit the proposal, before that, if we submit the proposals among the very first one, for example, when we are there are only 0 to 5 proposals submitted and we are the one to submit the proposal, then it is a guarantee that we are among the first one who submit the proposal. But if I submit a proposal right now, we don't have any guarantee. We don't have any guarantee that the client will be looking at the proposal in a few hours. He might look at the submitted proposals 2 days from now, and 2 days from now our proposal, instead of being on the end, it will be among the middle, and then we are screwed. So submitting the proposal at the very beginning is a surety, and submitting the proposal at a later time is basically just praying that our proposal is among the ones that are at the end, so that they actually get seen. Or this is in the majority of the cases, if our proposal is extremely excellent and we are extremely fit for the job, then it being in the middle poses no problem. But that rarely happens. Mostly the proposals we submit at the very beginning or at the very end are the ones that are accepted. So we will now go ahead and start the submitting of the proposal process. Once again, these are the tags around which we will base our proposal. Now for this job, the client has asked these 5 questions. Do you have any question about the job description? Do you have suggestions to make the project run successfully? Actually, we will not answer this. We will try to avoid answering this, because this isn't what he is looking for is the help to pinpoint the strange behavior. And if we answer this question, then it would basically mean that we are providing him with the service that we would have offered him for free. We would have offered him the paid service that we were going to offer him. If we answer this question, it would be that we are offering him the service for free. So we will not answer this question. We will try to avoid it. We will go around it, something like that. What challenging part of the job are you most experienced in? What past project or job have you had the most that is most like this one, and why? What questions do you have about the project? Now, I actually sent these questions to the subject matter expert, but I never heard back from them. Corona, and we are all working from home, so whatever. So now I don't have any technical details to add in the answer to this question. So what I'm gonna do is just wing it. I'm gonna use every last bit of skill that I have to answer these questions in a way that the client doesn't feel like that the one who is applying the job isn't the actually technical guy. So let's start the submitting proposal process. Hit 2 connects. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and take a look at a few things, come up with the proper plan, and I'll start the video once I'm done with that. So I'm back and we're gonna start submitting the proposal process. Normally we always start with hi, and once again, like I said in my previous video, we don't have to write the name. We can just start writing our proposal. So usually when we're submitting a proposal, we should avoid telling stories as in like, I did this and this happened and then this happened and I was the one they called on to work on that and this and that. So normally we avoid these kind of things. The proposal has to be direct. It has to be very professional. Each and every line of the proposal must convey a proper message. But for this proposal, for the purpose of this job, we are going to use 1 or 2 small short stories of actual things that happened. Now, even though the technical people, the subject matter expert, didn't send anything to me this time, but because of the previous proposals I have submitted for him, I do know some situations in which he was genuinely called to take care of a problem that no one was able to solve. So I will be using that situation and writing it in the proposal. This is because the client, if we take a look at his description once again, he's saying we are running a migration to Office 365 and are seeing some strange behaviors, looking for an experienced migration system engineer to support us over the weekend. Now, he hasn't asked for any certification. If he had asked for a certification, then we must not write any story. We must tell him that we have this certification and that's it. No need telling a story or telling a situation in which we helped someone before. That will have a negative effect. We can tell it in a few short sentences, like, there was a problem and I solved it. and only after writing that we have this specific certification. Now, since he hasn't asked for any certain specification certification, we will first tell him the previous projects we worked, the previous projects on which we worked that were very closely related to his projects. And this is also, and this is only one reason. The next reason is that he has actually asked in the questions right here, what past projects or job have you had that is most like this one, and why? He has actually asked himself about the previous encounters of the freelancers with this kind of work. So it is actually a good thing to write a few stories of the clients that we have helped before. Now I will have to stop talking and write the basic form of the proposal. I can't actually speak and write at the same time, because when I'm writing I have to focus on the words and the sentences that I'm using. So just stay with me and follow my words, and once I'm done with 1 or 2 paragraphs, I'll start talking of why I chose specific words or specific sentences or their placement and things like that. Okay, let me just make sure the video is recording. Yes, video is recording. Okay, let's continue. Okay, what I'm looking at here right now is the hourly pay. For example, I am seeing that all the submitted proposals, the low range is $10, the average is $33.66, the high is $90. But the history of the client shows that he's been paying $10 per hour, $12 per hour, $22 per hour, $20 per hour. So the client's average is $12 per hour. So we're probably comfortable at $20, which is our basic hourly pay that we ask. The client's payment method is verified, 63% higher rate, 2 open jobs, 4 active and 2 open. 7 hires. He must have hired, if he has no review and he has 7 hires and 4 active and 2 open jobs, this actually means that he has posted jobs for where he needs more than 1 freelancers, like the job here right now. So this actually means that his actual hiring rate is like 100%. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's just go back and work on the proposal. Once again, I will copy these tags and just paste them here. I will remove them later. This is so that I remember the tags which I have to follow and create a proposal out of. Okay, for my girlfriend. Over the weekend. So the weekend is right now. That means even if they hire us, the weekend would probably be next weekend. Or maybe if he is gonna hire this weekend, then I should submit the proposal right now and make it quick, because tomorrow is gonna be Sunday, and if they really want the support on a weekend, then that means that tomorrow is a potential day at which the client will look at the proposals and hire right there and then. Now I have a list. The subject matter expert, he actually, when he writes technical content, he writes according to keywords, and when he sends me the content, I save it in an Excel sheet according to these keywords so that I can refer to it back later. So Office 365, let me just quickly see if I have hybrid development of Office 365, design plan as rotated customization, distribution of any customer domains. No, this is, I can't put this there. Office 365, you can have design, setup, tenant, add new user, configure subscription, tenant role, workload setting, model licenses, allocation, blah 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 blah. This is setting up of Office 365. This is not migration of Office 365. Backups, Active Directory. Nope, we don't have content appropriate to the tag. Exchange server. Let's see if we have something on Exchange server. E, we don't have an E. All the content that I have right here is actually related to deployment and not to migrations. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Yep, this proposal might not turn out as good as I want it to be, but what the heck. Windows PowerShell and Microsoft Windows Server. Let's just Windows PowerShell and Microsoft Windows Server. For now, I'm just writing. I'm just writing whatever's coming to my mind. I'm gonna come back to the content and then polish it even more, just a little more, just a little more, as much as I can. I think the video would be boring if I don't speak for a very long time, so I'll just start to review the content right now. Okay, so I have started with hi, I am senior network and system administrator, and I have been working on Microsoft Windows Server and migrations for about half my 15 years of industry experience. Okay, so not usually, every time I prefer not to say anything that I don't know about. I don't want to lie in the proposal. When we write something in the proposal that is untrue, it becomes very difficult to defend that if the clients ask anything about it. So never do I write anything in the proposal that might cause a problem. I'm pretty sure the subject matter expert has been working for more than half a dozen, more than 7 years, 7.5 years, which is the half of 15 years. But just to be safe, I have written half my 15 years. I could have written 15 years. So just to be safe. And since he is actually looking for someone who can help them solve a problem, then the person who is applying must be a senior. We see this again and again in companies. Junior resources, they know how to work on something, they can do the work. The place where they get stuck is when they face a problem that they cannot solve, or a problem that they haven't seen. Kept recording. A problem that they haven't seen, they haven't encountered yet. So senior resources are there to help these people who are working under them solve the problems that they haven't faced yet. Clearly, these clients are facing a problem, a strange behavior that they haven't seen yet. Yeah, so the reason I used the keyword senior here is because a senior network or system administrator is the one who has already seen all the possible problems that a junior resource can face, or all the problems that exist. He knows how to handle them, and that is why he is in a senior position. So this word, appending this word with network and system administrator, is very, very important, and therefore I have appended the word senior. And I already talked about the experience and for migration to Office 365. This is basically credentials. This is basically proving to the client that we have worked on a important platform. No, that's not the right word. That we have already worked on critical platforms, in international companies. And moving on, actually this is important. Writing this sentence is also important. It basically also differentiates our proposal from other proposals. And once again, this is true. The subject matter expert who is going to work on this project, if we get this project, he has actually been to many countries, and he has actually worked for clients of many different countries. So moving on, there have been a number of instances when I was called by my previous clients even years later when they were stuck with a problem during migrations which no one was able to solve. Once again, this is actually something that really happened, and this is the story that I was talking about. Writing this story here is actually important since he has asked himself about the experience or past projects which are like this. And yeah, so not once to let down my employers, I can proudly say that I am the guy my clients and even companies call when they're in a bind that needs to be fixed instantly. And yeah, this has been case. There has been situations when he was called and a company called him and they said, yeah, we'll pay you this much, come here right now and solve this problem for us. So yeah, everything that I have written here is something that during an interview with this client, the subject matter expert can easily defend. He can, since this is all the true, he can tell all the details that the client asks. So now moving forward, since I actually don't have too much technical content that I can put in this proposal, well, now I have two options. I can either use the word hopefully, or I can either use the word surely. Now surely is a stronger word, but we are gonna use hopefully here, since we also know and the client also know that we don't have all the information yet. So if we write surely, then it would indicate to the client that we actually know nothing. It would have the opposite effect. So we're going to use the word hopefully. Hopefully I would be able to, hopefully during the call now instead of I would, I will say I will. Here I will use a stronger word. Hopefully during the call I will be able. Now since I do not know how long it will take for the subject matter expert to actually solve the problem, The sentence that I love using in these situations is this. Damn it. In the least possible time. I will be able to pinpoint the problem and provide a solution in the least possible time. This actually guarantees no specific time frame, and yet it indicates to the client that we will solve the problem in the shortest amount of time possible. It can be hours, days, or weeks, or months, but it will be the least possible time. Like, this is a very excellent sentence. If I say the recording is working, least possible time. The client is from Netherlands, if I remember correctly. Yep. So we're gonna add about the time. I have no problem working according to the time zone of Netherlands. In this way I can make sure that there no, I won't have to use in, just this way. This way I can make sure that there is no delay in I have answered the questions. I've answered the questions you asked. Can you also take a look at them? Thank you for reading my proposal. Looking forward to your response. This doesn't. Just give me a second. Since he actually told that he is looking to work on a weekend, support us over the weekend. I can use that to circle back. I can use that in my proposal to circle back to their main point. It will have a good effect. I start the proposal, I write about the stuff that I can do, create the proposal, and then I circle back to where I started. This actually completes the story. Every story works like that. The hero's journey starts, he faces a problem, he overcomes the problem, and then comes back to his life from where he started with a better understanding of the world. Proposals also work like this. They have to circle back from where they started. So in this case, the circling back from where our proposal started would to come back to his original description. Thank you for my proposal. I would be happy to hear from you and to work with you on your migration this weekend or the next. Okay, yeah, with this our proposal ends. We don't need to write the looking forward to your response, since we have already written I would be happy to hear from you. Yeah, we can just now end our proposal. Regards. Yeah, with this I can submit my proposals, but what the heck, the electricity went off, the net is disconnected. I'll just pause and then I'll come back and then I'll answer these questions and then I'll submit the proposal. Just a second. Yeah, it's recording. Okay, now I'm back and I will be answering these questions. Do you have any questions about the description? Yes. Yes, there are a few questions that I would like to ask before providing further details. Okay, now since I am not a technical person of networking, I actually don't know the questions that which subject matter expert are gonna ask. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try my best and dodge these questions, and I am gonna do that by telling him that I want to ask these questions personally during a call. For details, I would like to ask these questions personally during a call. Yeah, that's it. I can spend a lot more time on this answer, making it even more better, but the restriction that I have right now is actually completing this video and applying before the client comes back to check if that is in the case if he is looking to hire this weekend. So I cannot waste too much time on answering a question which I don't even know how to ask. Do you have suggestions to make this project run successfully? Yes. No. Yeah. So I'm gonna dodge this by saying that I don't have enough information to give you suggestions. I don't have enough information about your setup to give you a tangible suggestion at the moment. Now, this might seem like too much, but again and again in every question I'm going to remind him to give us a call, schedule an interview. I don't have enough information about your setup to give you a tangible suggestion at the moment. I do have many suggestions. So at the moment, kindly, if you give me a call and give a few details and provide a few details, I would be happy to give you useful suggestions to make the entire process more streamlined. Okay, now moving on to the next one. Which challenging part of this job are you most experienced in? Working on, now I'm gonna use a industry jargon, which actually works wonders. I'm gonna use it in a moment. working on values required and working on migrations is this is the jargon. Business as usual. Business as usual. This is actually industry jargon and it works wonders. It shows that the person who is talking has relevant experience. Working on migrations is business as usual for me, and the most challenging part of this job is business as usual for me. I do not have enough information yet to pinpoint the most challenging part of your project. If I can have a bit more detail, that would be awesome. Now I have actually told him directly in the first two questions to give us a call and give us details, but here I have taken an indirect path. I've just told him if I can, I have made a request. If I can have a bit more details, that would be awesome. It's a request. It's not a direct statement. Now, which past project or job have you had? Which past project or job have you had that is most like this one, and why? Now, once again, I'm gonna dodge this question by telling him that I do not have information on his project yet, but I'm gonna do it in a different way. Because if I don't do it, he's gonna know that I'm trying to dodge his questions. Yeah, if I had answers to these questions from the subject matter expert, the proposal would have been 10, 20, 30 times better. What past project or job have you had that is most like this one, and why? Recording, yep, recording. I have worked on many challenging migrations. Even on challenging migrations, each is unique in no, I can't say each is unique, because that would indicate that the previous experience that I have is useless, which I don't I don't want to give the client this expression. What would be the right word? This suggestion. I worked on many challenging migrations and have completed each and every one successfully. Yeah, finally I remembered. The most challenging one, I would say, the most challenging ones I would say are the ones for which a lot of preparation has to be made in order to migrate without with zero, without avoid using negative keywords, with zero downtime. Now I know that the migrations with zero downtimes are difficult to pull off, and it is because I have had communication with the subject matter experts and I have been submitting proposals from them for some time now. What questions do you have about the project? Damn it, once again a very similar question. I'm gonna have to use once again a different approach to answer this, or else he will know that I'm trying to avoid the answering questions. I'm trying to dodge the questions. I'm trying to get over the questions. I'm out of analogies. What questions do you have about the project? Damn it. 265 and saying some we are running a migration to Office 365. Yeah, I'm gonna fire an arrow in the air from which version are you migrating to Office 365? I have no idea if this sentence makes any sense or no. I'll just pray that it does, and I'll be submitting the proposal now. From which version are you migrating? Okay, I'll just act like I don't know English and write a sentence that seems that was not written in proper English. From which are you migrating to Office 365? Yeah, that actually makes sense. Okay, now with this I am finally submitting my proposal in this 30-40 minute video, in which I have also sped up areas where a lot of time was taken to write paragraphs. For example, I think this entire process actually took an hour. The video is gonna be like half an hour long. Hopefully this will help someone somewhere. It's the tricks, the tips that I have gathered and used to get work. And so now finally the video comes to an end. If there's anything that you can help me with, I would be very glad. I would be happy to know those things. And this, I submit my proposal. The proposal is submitting. Please don't crash. Okay, still waiting, and God, this is excruciating. Many times there has been the case when I submit a proposal and for some reason everything gets lost. The page crashes, mostly because of the electricity outage problem. The net gets disconnected, and I don't realize it, and I just click on submit, and instead of submitting the proposal, the page crashes. Web page crashes. So you have also, okay, the proposal has been submitted. It's looks like the proposal has been submitted. Finally, the work is done, and with this I end the video.